Good morning and welcome to Williams Dog Training Company. We're here today with Fred and Bailey, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today is Bailey's ability to understand and respond to her obedience commands, the corrections and motivations we give her while we're working with her, and the training equipment that we're using. Fred is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he's going to keep the bulk of that leash folded neatly in his right hand, leaving his left hand free to give the correction. Correction that we give is the tug and let go to the training collar, which is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Bailey's been fitted with her own personal training collar, and we'll show you how to properly use this during your one-on-one lesson. As you can see, Bailey is seated on Fred's left, which is where all our obedience training is done. The first command they'll demonstrate is heeling, which is proper walking on a leash. Fred and Bailey take off doing that now. The command you want to use for this is Bailey heel, and then you start walking and she'll fall right in line on your left-hand side. Now we've gone ahead and incorporated our sit command into this, so anytime Fred stops his feet, as he just did, Bailey will sit. It's important when you're heeling Bailey that she walks nicely at your pace on your left-hand side without trying to pull ahead of you or lag behind. If she did attempt to pull ahead or lag behind, say no, give a tug and let go correction to her training collar, repeat the command to heel, and then start walking again. Now the next command they're going to demonstrate is our stay command, which is a hand and voice command. Fred will use the open flat of his left palm, an inch or so from Bailey's muzzle, and the one-word command to stay. He then walks out to the end of the training leash. This is a great exercise to build up self-control and maturity in Bailey. You can start practicing this one at about a minute's time and work your way up in increments until you get to about 3 minutes. As Fred returns back to Bailey, he's going to walk all the way around her, providing an added distraction as he goes behind, and right back to that left-hand side heel position. She holds that sit stay throughout. He gave her some praise and then heeled her right out of it. And he'll show you just a little more of the heel, sit, and stay. As he heels around, stops his feet, and she'll sit.
Stay.
He gives her the stay again, and back out to the end of that training leash. This time he'll demonstrate our come or recall command instead of returning back to her.
Yeah, come.
He calls her in, she gets right up and comes into him and sits in front. And then we have a move called the finish. He's going to heel her right around the back of him and gets her right back to that proper left-hand side heel position, and she sits.
Stay.
He'll demonstrate that recall one more time. She's in a sit. He gives her a stay out to the end of the training leash. Gives her a second to hold it.
Bailey.
And then calls her right in. She gets up, comes into him, sits in front. And then the finish one more time. He heels her right around the back of him and gets her right back to that proper left-hand side heel position, and she'll sit. Nicely done. That's a good time to remind you want to practice all your commands with Bailey, about 15 to 20 minutes a day. And you can practice inside or outside your home, and then just start incorporating the commands into your daily routine with her. Next up is going to be our down commands. The first one is down from a heel position. Fred will use the open flat of his left palm straight down to the ground and the one-word firm command to stay, to down, sorry. He then gives her a stay and walks out to the end of that training leash. It's another great exercise to build up that self-control and maturity. This one you can start practicing at about 3 minutes time and work your way up in increments until you get to about 5 minutes. Now as Fred returns back to her, he's going to walk all the way around her just as he did on the sit stay and right back to that left-hand side heel position. She holds her down throughout. He heels her right out of it. He'll show you that down again when he comes back around. And you see Bailey's doing very well, but it's always important to follow through with your commands. So if at any point you give her a command she does not respond or she breaks one of her stays, the first word out of your mouth is always going to be no, followed by a tug and let go correction, and then you're going to repeat the command you'd given her. From there, Fred gives her the down again and a stay, and back out to the end of the training leash. And this time he'll demonstrate that come or recall command again, this time right out of the down position. Calls her in, she gets right up and comes into him, sits in front. And then the finish, one more time, he heels her right around the back of him and right back to his left-hand side heel position and has her sit. Nicely done. And we'll give them a second to get lined up for our final command, which will be down from a distance. Now this will be her down from a distance. You're going to have her in a sit, give her a stay, walk out to the end of your training leash. This is the only time we use our right hand to give the command, and Fred will drop her into a down from the end of the training leash.
Down.
And then he returns back to her once again. He walks all the way around and right back to that left-hand side heel position. You saw there for the moment she didn't want to go down, so he just repeated the command and she went right down. All right, we've demonstrated for you all of our basic obedience commands we've been working on with Bailey while she's been here at school. It's been a pleasure working with Bailey, and we thank you again for choosing Williams Dog Training Company as your personal dog trainer.